when it came through him or Weld. I can't remember real quickly. But I'll tell you this. A venture capitalist, what they do is they buy companies and they chop it up, like you say, and they make more money. That's not what happened with Trump. He wasn't chopping up companies. What he was doing was his own companies was going bankrupt. So for that, I'm not disrespecting that he made his millions. I'm saying to you, I don't look at him as, a successful businessman story. Although he is very rich, the man lies. I'm going to prove it to you. During the election, he said he would show his taxes when he's out of audit. You're trying to tell me the audit for 25th, when did he become president? 2016? The audit is still going on right now, 3-4 years later. He's lying. He's trying to block Bolton's book because it's going to make him look weak. The problem with it is that the problem with far-right conservatives, and I'm a conservative, not far-right, but I'm a conservative. The problem with far-right conservatives is simply this. They will make every cotton-picking, that's a word I like to use, cotton-picking excuse for Trump. The funny thing is simply this, man. What I'm trying to tell you is what's going on in Seattle is nonsense. The same president that you're talking about had rubber bullets and tear gas sent people for a photo op. That is not presidential. That is, what's the word? I can't even pronounce it. It starts with an M. When you're full of yourself. I can't remember. It'll come to me in a minute.
I think you mean N. It's narcissistic.
Narcissistic, probably that's it. And there's another one too, but I'll get to it in a minute. Those things irritates me. However, I will still go back to the point where the same people who are dogging Trump, and they will say to Obama, they'll say, my president, but Trump is not their president. And they have the same kind of people on the other side saying the same thing. Steve, what I'm trying to say here is simply this. I don't believe any city is above the law. And if something like that's going on in Seattle and other places, there has to be intervention. But the thing about it is, I don't know how to police it. I'm not a cop. I've never been a cop. My brother's a retired cop. He was a cop for a while. I don't know. What I do know is simply this. Here in Richmond, they fired the police, or they asked him to resign, the police chief, because he handled the riots incorrectly. A few weeks ago, I went into Richmond to get some, I'm a vegan, to get some vegan food. And when I parked on East Gray Street, there were a lot of stadies.
What's wrong with him? He doesn't eat meat.
Yeah, right. A lot of stadies, a lot of Richmond police. It was VCU, all different police there. Now, I could do two things. I can go through them to get to that vegan spot to get my food, or I have to walk all the way around. With all the cops there in riot gear, I'm a wise man. I'm not going to go through them. I went around. I didn't even ask them. I saw him standing there. They were protecting the police station, so I went around them. Later that week, we were driving down there for vegan food again, and this girl is riding her bike. And she passes by, it was a beautiful, Caucasian girl. And she has a middle finger stuck out in front of the police station. We know there's bad cops. We know there's crooked cops. What I'm saying is, I'll look into your grammar. The cops need to rat out those dirty, stinking rat police officers. They need to rat out those dirty, stinking rat police officers that doing that foolishness. But all cops are not bad. And the mayor, you can't fire or relieve.
I got you, Francis.
Or relieve a police chief because he's doing his job. The funny thing about it is, if you don't do that, chaos is going to happen. And what I'm telling the people is, protest peacefully. Protest. You can put your hands up. You can say Black Power. You can say Black Lives Matter. You can say whatever you want to. I'm for that. But you cannot attack cops, and you cannot spit in their face, and you cannot do that kind of stuff. Even if the foolishness that they're doing, you need to do it the right way, because two wrongs don't make a right. And believe me, they have the guns. And what are you going to do? If you attack them, they're going to shoot you.
Well, and again, you're talking about people who are throwing bottles of urine on police officers in Richmond.
That's not right.
And then you got two city councilmen and a mayor that are going to fire a police chief because he took action. I personally, you throw piss on me, I'm probably going to kick your ass too. I'm just saying. So my point to all this is, and you can see, we don't agree on a lot of things, and we do agree on a lot of things. There's some things that we agree on, some things that we don't. But again, I want you to think about this. All the major cities that are having major problems are run by the left, and they're allowing this to happen with not allowing law to do anything about it. And let's go back to Chicago for a minute. You know, do y'all remember, what's the guy's name? Jesse Smollett, whatever the heck his name was, that faked his...
he said the two African guys.
Yeah.
Right?
He had two... Smollett. He hires two Africans who were working with him on the set to mug him. Right? Now, I'm going to tell you the way the liberal system worked in Chicago. When the police wanted to press charges against him because they had proof, they had witnesses showing that he was lying and that he paid them, two black people, which, oh, by the way, he tried to say originally that they were white and they were wearing MAGA hats. I got news for you. Show me a white man that's going to walk in downtown Chicago wearing a MAGA hat, and I'll kiss your ass. I'm telling you, that's bull. So, you know, this guy just makes this up, and the liberal prosecutor would not prosecute him, even though the police department had plenty of proof that it was all a lie. So when you have liberal cities and liberal states like this, and the government is not going to do the right thing, that's a problem.
Well, someone pull a plug there, Steve. As you know, someone pull a plug there because, first of all, when it happened, I was a little apprehensive. And then after what happened, if you remember, the prosecutor, whoever it was, who recused herself because she couldn't, and someone made a call. What I'm saying here is
yes, Michelle Obama made a call.
Well, I don't know who it was.
Because they were personal friends.
I don't know who it was, but someone made a call. And what happened here is that the cops should have still, let me tell you something. I don't care if you get a call. You see, what happens, you just talk about politics. What happens to a lot of people, they pander to their base. So, for example, if somebody makes if somebody makes a call, a family member of mine makes a call to me not to do something, and it's wrong, I can't do that. They know that about me. As a matter of fact, I have a sister who told me one time, she said, I won't lie for you, but if you commit a crime, and I know where you are, like you murdered somebody, I'm not talking about an act, I will tell the cops you did it. So my point I'm trying to make here is simply this. What happened in that Smollett situation, it was crazy. It died after, if you notice how fast it died at the beginning, it was spreading like wildfire, right? And then it died because of the foolishness. All I can tell you is this, Steve. I can tell you this. You know, as someone who's a black man living here in America, I don't condone any form of racism. I don't condone any form of using the race card. I think we had a joke the other day about my AAA thing.
Yes.
And I was talking trash, and I said, I'll use the race card to get my $32. As a matter of fact, they called me, and they want to give me $30 without the race card. The point I'm trying to make is simply this. In this country, there's been too many people silent. Too many people. And the funny thing about this, even I said with you, someone called you racist because of what you said before, but I've seen your statements and I know where you stand.
Right.
So I don't consider you that because, like I said earlier on the show, if you were a racist, I'm not going to sit on your podcast and have a conversation with you. Right. Hell no. But we agree on a lot of things and we disagree on a lot of things.
Absolutely.
We agree a lot of music, we agree a lot of small business, and we agree a lot of conservative issues, but a lot of things we totally disagree. But what I can tell you is simply this. I don't want anyone to make special arrangements for me as a black man. I just want it to be fair and equitable. But it's not being done, and I'm telling you, it's happened in the past, it'll happen again. It happens to you probably driving because some people might think you're Hell's Angels.
I was about to say.
I thought you was a Hell's Angels when I first came in here.
Oh, no, definitely not. But I mean, people look at me and I get stopped for DWB all the time, driving while being a biker. Whoever's calling me, please stop.
It's all right.
Whoever's calling me, please stop.
Yeah, it's all right. Just put it. You can decline it. Yeah, we have a little call going in here, guys. Just hold on. As we do the live broadcast, the WG podcast with Steve Bryant.
Hello.
From Wholesale Guitars. Hope you guys are enjoying our conversations as we're talking about.
Okay, well, I don't know who was calling. It looked like maybe my son.
All right, go ahead.
Tammy, call Chris, because he tried to call me and I'm in the middle of a show. I'll tell you what.
We're talking about the Hell's Angels.
I froze up here, I think.
Yeah, I think you're working. I saw it moving. It looks like it's moving.
I think I froze up. Oop. Anyway, yeah, I get it all the time for driving while being a biker, so I get it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to play another song for you, and I'm going to go take this call real quick. This is a little Josh Duncan band for you. Going to do it again.
Job today. Kicked off my shoes, put on my boots, ready to party like Hank. I took a shot and it hit the spot. Put on some cash on the radio dash and I'm heading to the parking lot. Gonna do it again, turn it up to 10 tonight. Gonna find me a girl who can dance and twirl and drink moonshine all night. Yeah, we're coming alive, let's take a drive. Four-wheel drive, gonna do it again. Gonna do it again. Slept in late, I'm not feeling that great. My world's still spinning, but I'm still willing to give it another try. In the blink of an eye, it was 8:45. And it's almost time, ain't no stop signs gonna slow me down tonight. Gonna do it again, turn it up to 10 tonight. Gonna find me a girl who can dance and twirl and drink moonshine all night. And we're coming alive, let's take a drive to a honky-tonk bar underneath the stars. Asleep in my four-wheel drive, gonna do it again.
Little JDB, the Josh Duncan Band, gonna do it again. Local boys right here in beautiful RVA. So I'm here with my friend Terrence Bardouille. For those who don't know that, that's French. Bardouille.
That's right.
It's kind of fun to say. Try saying it. Bardouille.
Bardouille.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Right. Bardouille. Oui, oui.
Yeah, oui,
So we're discussing a lot of things today. We're talking about what's going on in the country, what's going on in RVA, and a lot of interesting, a lot of things that we find we have a lot in common. Me and my friend Terrence here, and a lot of things that we disagree on. But there is one thing I want you to understand. No matter how much Terrence and I may agree or disagree, and I want to make this very, very clear. And any of my friends that know me, and those of you on Facebook that know me, anytime Terrence and I are visiting, And I don't care if it's Terrence or James Branch